Welcome back to WNBA Updates, the channel where we bring you everything happening in women's basketball, from game day highlights to the biggest business moves shaping the sport's future. Today, we are diving into something that has the entire basketball world buzzing. Three of the most iconic names in the history of the sport, LeBron James, Larry Bird, and Caitlin Clark, have come together in a partnership that nobody saw coming. And trust us, this is way bigger than a headline. This is a seismic shift in the world of basketball. Basketball has always been a sport built on legacy. From the playgrounds of Indiana to the bright lights of the NBA and WNBA arenas, the game has produced icons who transcend the sport itself. But rarely, almost never, do you see legends from completely different generations, different backgrounds, and different corners of the basketball universe decide to join forces. That is exactly what makes this announcement so extraordinary. LeBron James, a man who turned professional basketball into a billion-dollar personal empire. Larry Bird, the small-town Indiana kid who became one of the greatest to ever lace up a pair of sneakers, and then remade himself as one of the sharpest front-office minds the game has ever seen. And Caitlin Clark, the woman who has single-handedly ignited a revolution in women's basketball, turning the WNBA into must-watch television and herself into a generational cultural phenomenon. Together, these three represent the past, the present, and the blazing future of basketball. And now they are building something together. Before we get into what this partnership could actually look like, it is worth stepping back and appreciating just how much firepower each of these three individuals brings to the table. Start with LeBron James. Even in retirement from playing, LeBron remains the single most powerful force in the basketball business world. During his playing career, he earned over $500 million in salary alone, suiting up for Cleveland, Miami, and the Los Angeles Lakers. But his on-court earnings are almost secondary to what he has built off it. His partnership with Nike has grown into something almost unimaginable. The LeBron James brand generates close to $5 billion annually for Nike, with LeBron earning massive royalties from every sale. He owns the Charlotte Hornets. He has invested in restaurants, car dealerships, media companies, and sports enterprises. In 2018, his family foundation opened a public school in his hometown of Akron, Ohio, backed by a commitment of over $40 million to help local kids access higher education. LeBron James became the first NBA player in history to reach billionaire status, and he did it by being as brilliant in the boardroom as he was on the basketball court. Then there is Larry Bird. His story is one of the most uniquely American tales in sports history. A kid from French Lick, Indiana, who starred at Indiana State, went on to win 3 NBA championships and 3 consecutive MVP awards with the Boston Celtics, and then came home to Indiana to rebuild the Pacers organization from the inside out. As head coach from 1997 to 2000, he took Indiana to the NBA Finals and won the Coach of the Year award. As president of basketball operations from 2003 to 2012, he built competitive rosters, developed young talent, and won the NBA Executive of the Year award. The NBA even named the Eastern Conference Finals MVP trophy in his honor. Recently, Bird stepped down from his executive role, closing one remarkable chapter. But make no mistake, the man's basketball mind is as sharp as ever, and his understanding of Indiana's deeply passionate basketball culture is unmatched by anyone alive. And then there is Caitlin Clark. Where do you even begin? Selected first overall by the Indiana Fever in the 2026 WNBA draft, Clark has already become the most marketable athlete in women's sports history. Her WNBA rookie contract is worth approximately $338,000 over 4 years, strong by league standards, but almost comically small compared to the empire she is building through endorsements. She has a landmark Nike deal that includes her own signature sneaker and exclusive apparel lines, widely considered one of the largest contracts in WNBA history. She has also partnered with Wilson, Gatorade, Bose, State Farm, and several other top-tier brands. Her social media following is enormous, and her engagement rates consistently outperform most active NBA stars. Clark does not just play basketball, she has made millions of people fall in love with the sport who had never paid attention to it before. That is a rare and extraordinarily powerful gift. On the surface, these three might seem like an unlikely trio. Different eras, different positions, different genders, different corners of the basketball universe. But when you look closer, the connections are undeniable. Start with geography. Both Larry Bird and Caitlin Clark are Indiana icons. Bird grew up there, starred at Indiana State, and spent decades pouring his career back into the state's basketball infrastructure. Clark now plays for the Indiana Fever, representing a new generation of the same passionate hoops culture Bird helped define. Their connection is not manufactured for marketing purposes. It is rooted in genuine shared identity. Then there is the style of play. Bird and Clark are widely recognized as two of the greatest floor generals their respective games have ever produced. Both see the court in ways that defy normal athletic perception. They do not just react to the game, they anticipate it, shape it, and make everyone around them better. That shared basketball IQ creates an immediate foundation of mutual respect and understanding. And LeBron James ties it all together with his relentless drive, his obsession with excellence, and his extraordinary ability to turn great ideas into massive real-world results. What Bird brings in basketball wisdom and Clark brings in modern star power, LeBron amplifies into something the entire world pays attention to. Sports business analysts are already calling this one of the most exciting potential partnerships in the history of athletics. And when you start laying out the possibilities, it is easy to see why. The most talked about idea is a network of elite basketball academies stretching across the country, with Indiana as the natural starting point. Picture this: LeBron's championship mindset and obsessive work ethic shaping the training philosophy. Bird's deep coaching expertise driving the actual on-court instruction. And Clark, fresh from her own journey through the youth and college ranks, bringing modern training techniques that speak directly to today's young athletes. This would not be just another basketball camp. This would be a world-class player development system backed by three of the most credible names the sport has ever produced. Beyond the courts themselves, the trio could push into cutting-edge sports technology. We are talking virtual reality coaching tools, real-time shot analysis apps, and digital platforms that let kids anywhere in the world train with virtual avatars of LeBron, Bird, and Clark. That might sound futuristic, but the technology exists right now. With their financial resources, industry connections, and genuine understanding of what athletes actually need, they could fund and shape the next generation of sports tech innovation. There's also a massive media opportunity sitting right in front of them. The sports media landscape is shifting rapidly. Athletes are bypassing traditional networks and building direct relationships with their fans through podcasts, YouTube channels, streaming platforms, and social media. A joint podcast or documentary series from these three would attract viewers across every generation of basketball fan. Their combined perspectives span 6 decades of the sport's evolution. That is not just entertainment. That is basketball history told in real time. And perhaps most importantly for our community here at WNBA Updates, this partnership could be absolutely transformative for women's basketball. Clark is already driving unprecedented growth in WNBA viewership and attendance. Adding the star power, business connections, and public platforms of LeBron James and Larry Bird to that momentum could push the women's game into an entirely new stratosphere. We are talking larger corporate sponsorships, more primetime media slots, higher player salaries, better facilities, and a level of mainstream cultural respect that women's basketball has been working toward for decades. When legendary male athletes publicly invest their energy and resources into championing women's sports, it sends a message to the entire industry that the game matters. That kind of signal has real commercial and cultural consequences. Dedicated mentorship programs for young female players could give the next generation of WNBA talent access to wisdom and guidance that simply did not exist before. Direct pathways from youth leagues to elite training environments, built and funded by people who have actually lived the journey at the highest level. That changes lives, not just basketball careers, but actual lives. There is something worth pausing to appreciate here. This partnership is not just about business strategy or brand deals, though those elements are real and significant. It is about what happens when greatness decides to reinvest itself in the game that created it. LeBron James could have retreated into pure ownership and private business after his playing career ended. Instead, he continues to use his platform to push the sport forward in every direction. Larry Bird could have fully stepped back from the game after leaving the Pacers' front office. Instead, he is stepping into a new kind of mentorship role that connects his legendary Indiana roots to the sport's most exciting new chapter. And Caitlin Clark, despite being at the very beginning of her professional career, is already thinking about legacy, about what women's basketball looks like not just for her generation, but for the ones coming after her. That shared commitment to legacy is what makes this trio genuinely special. It is not three famous names slapping their brands on a product. It is three people who deeply love basketball, who owe their identities to the sport, deciding to pour that love into something that will outlast all of them. The basketball world is watching closely. Whatever this partnership produces, whether it is academies, technology platforms, media ventures, community programs, or some combination of all of the above, it will instantly command global attention. LeBron's name alone draws investors and audiences from every corner of the planet. Bird's authenticity and basketball credibility lend weight and seriousness to any project. And Clark's connection to the next generation of fans ensures that whatever they build will feel relevant, exciting, and alive. Here at WNBA Updates, we will be tracking every development in this partnership as it unfolds. Because at its core, this is a story about the future of basketball, not just the NBA, not just the WNBA, but the entire ecosystem of the sport we love. When the past, present, and future of basketball decide to build something together, everyone who cares about this game should pay close attention. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think LeBron, Larry Bird, and Caitlin Clark should build together? What would have the biggest impact on the sport, especially for the WNBA? We want to hear from you. And if you are not already subscribed to WNBA Updates, now is the perfect time. Hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and stay locked in. The future of basketball is being written right now, and we will be here for every word of it.